got one question for you. Are you ready?
And we are live. What is going on, everybody? We are back.
Intro, man.
Thanks. We have Mr. Gary Wolfe and Nick. What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
What is going on?
Hey, first off, let me get it out of the way. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for having me on your show, man. That's way cool of you.
Oh, yeah, no problems, man. I saw, you know what, it's interesting because we were just talking about IG and everybody's always like, hey, who do you follow on IG? And I'm like, every day I see some awesome guitars. And then I always see Gary playing another awesome guitar, Gary playing another awesome guitar. I'm like, holy moly. He's got some incredible guitars, vintage. And then I also see that he's a radio DJ, which is really cool. So absolutely happy to have you on. Enjoy completely. So excited. And then James is on his way, guys. James is on his way.
Cool.
And so we will be loving that as soon as he was at a reggae festival and he just left to come down to meet Gary and he actually left right in front of, like he said, hey, Bob Marley's brother is about ready to play, but I'm dedicated enough to be able to come down and meet Gary because he was so impressed with everything. So pretty cool.
I'm very impressed. I wouldn't have left.
It's good times. So Gary, we of course will have to, as soon as James comes in, we'll have to do the dessert section. But so we'll just kick it right off and say that both of you gentlemen are radio DJs in Northern California. That's
correct. Yes, sir, man.
And what is the radio station you guys work for?
It's 101.1 FM radio. It's KFUG, KFUG, and it's a community radio station here in Crescent City. And if you check it out online, it's www.kfugradio.org, or you can go to online, www.onlineradiobox.com, and then type in KFUG 101.1, and bam, you can listen live anywhere in the world. And I've got people from Australia all the way to hometown listen. So it's a lot of fun. My show is 8 to 9 every Wednesday night, Pacific time. It's WofeMan self-serving hour of power. And I call it that because it's stuff I like. It's the music I like. And I hope that most people like it too, but it's all very guitar oriented because I am a guitar player. And so I love a killer guitar solo. So most every song you're going to hear on my station's got a killer guitar solo on it. In fact, one of the mottos was, if it doesn't have a killer guitar solo, I ain't playing it. But and then NippleNeck show, and I'll let you talk.
Saturday nights 8 to 10, that record radio. I play like old school, a lot of underground heavy metal stuff that you probably never heard before. Maybe you have. But it's a lot of fun. 8 to 10 Saturday nights.
Yeah, he does a 2-hour show because he can stay up later than me. That's awesome. It's a lot of fun, man, and
it's all volunteer, but it's cool, man.
The thing I like about having a radio show is because I used to play live in a band, and so I was used to performing, and of course I quit that many years ago. But this opportunity came around and so it gives me the vessel to play new musicians' music on the air for the first time. And it's actually, when I played Kennedy's song, you can follow her on Instagram. It's the Kennedy Official. and she's a young girl that sings. And I follow another guy, Jake Nolan from No Cider Recording in Chico, and he recorded and played the music on it. And I ran into her and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna play it on my show." Well, she had her whole family and all of her friends. They had this big party, and she started crying because she couldn't believe that her new single was actually out on the air. And man, that was a feeling I'll never forget. So I try to do that at least once a week, and I've done it with Johnny Ironside, Shaky Drummond. I mean, there's a bunch of them, but so I try to dedicate at least part of my show to somebody that's really trying their best to make their music be heard. And so that's the biggest thing I get out of my radio show.
Oh, I absolutely love that. And that is exactly our mantra here, is that we are definitely, as you have probably talked to or have probably gotten email or something from my publicist sister, Nicole, but she is all about new bands and maybe some older bands, but she also really is working with new clients and trying to get them to that same level to where they're heard. And so she's a publicist by trade, and then she also books our show and a couple others, other bands. And it's such a that's exactly why we do this, is because we want new bands to be seen, because we know how absolutely dedicated you have to be a musician, just like, I mean, as a musician and both of you all are guitarists just like I am, knowing that how hard it is to get out there.
Sure. Now, especially nowadays, man.
100%.
Absolutely.
With social media being as big as it is, everybody's out there. And for you to be noticed is next to impossible unless you know the right people or something you do goes viral by accident. And it's very rewarding. I've never done radio before, and the only reason I did this radio show was I started dating this girl that did a radio show on the radio. It was more classic rock, and she did it from 6 to 8, and from 8 to 9 nobody was on the radio. So I'm like, well, hell, I want to go sit in. So from 8 to 9 o'clock, I just made it my show. And luckily I wasn't kicked out of the radio station because I didn't ask permission. And that's how we both got started. So,
that's cool. Now, have they done any like on regional? Do they say how many people you got the World Wide Web? And I've heard your show. It's so good. The music that you're playing is 80s metal, but it's not a lot of, I still think glam rock is metal, some of it.
Yeah, I do. I like some of the glam stuff from the 80s, but Def Leppard and Poison and things like that. But I try to play something, but I play at least one Zakk Wylde song every week because he's my favorite guitar player. And
he's great.
And so, we did Andy Taylor last night. He's one of my favorites. And I sit here and I listen to music during the week, and I just write songs down, songs that I like. And so I'll have 2 or 3 pages when I go in there, and then I get my sous chef here to log me in and load them up, and then I just pick them as I go. And then I've got my followers. I always talk about them. We got Naked Robert. We got my sister, who's a pod boss in Cell Block C at Gatesville Women's Reformatory. And,
I love it.
I got Raw Riffs down in Australia. We always make fun of him. And,
we've met some really cool people, man.
Yeah. I met Johnny Ironsides, and I'll talk real quick about him. I met him through Instagram. He lives in Arizona. He's an Americana songwriter, kind of goth Americana. It's really, really good music. He has an album out called Murder Mountain. The title song, Murder Mountain, was written about Humboldt and the Trinity area down south from us, where they call it the Green Pyramid or Green Triangle. The Emerald Triangle. It's just where everybody grows pot. And there's pretty lawless there. And there was a Netflix special called Murder Mountain. And so that song caught my ear, and I got to conversing with him. Next thing I know, he's going on a cross country tour and decides to come to Crescent City. He was going to be on my radio show. And I said, well, if you're going to come to Crescent City, then we're going to jam together. And so I got him a gig at one of our local restaurants here. And me and Nipple opened up for him and Jacob Drummond. Jacob Drummond shows up. I haven't met Johnny. Johnny drives all the way from Arizona to get here. Jacob is a friend, I thought a lifelong friend of his that was going to, he met him on Instagram too.
This was their first time.
It was their first time meeting. And so we're all sitting down at this restaurant where we're going to play. And I'm like, hey, Johnny, I'm Gary. And all of a sudden Jacob goes, hey, Johnny, I'm Jacob. And I'm like, you two don't know each other, man. They ended up traveling cross country together all the way down to Florida and back, and doing their shows. Johnny doing his Murder Mountain promotion, and Jacob Drummond is a great musician, and you can find him on YouTube. And anyway, it was just kind of funny because next thing I know, Johnny had to leave the next morning. He had to get back. But Jacob hung out for a day or two, and we became really good friends. We all came over and jammed in the Wolf Den that night. And anyway, I'm going to be on Johnny Ironside's new album that's coming out next year.
And you got him a gig at your sister's on the way back.
That's right, on the way back, because the coronavirus was canceling everything. Their shows were getting canceled. I said, hey, man, I tell you what, stop in Houston, go over to my sister's house, do a private concert for her, and I'll pay for your hotel room. And
they did.
They did. And my sister fed them. They had a bunch of friends over, and those two sat in the living room and did a private house party for them. And yeah, it was awesome, man. So we're all kind of like a family now.
That's awesome. See, and that's what it's all about. Yeah, no doubt. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, and I actually saw that, and then you guys also are supporting a Kiss cover band. I actually started following them, Kisstroyer.
Oh yes, man. I got this guitar which I'm fixing to bring out, but you probably want to put some sunglasses on or something. But I got this guitar, and all of a sudden he commented, "Hey man, that's a pretty kick-ass guitar," and I'm like. So I got to talking to him once again, just like kind of like you and I and whatever. And he is in, it's Kisstroyer USA is his Instagram. And let me tell you, this is, if not it's got to be the best Kiss cover band I've ever seen.
Pretty awesome.
I mean, from their outfits to their stage show to the pyrotechnic. I mean, their guitar player, Ace Frehley, he's even got the Les Paul that lights on fire when he hits the pickup, and it's got the LED smokes coming out of it and stuff. I'm just like,
that's awesome,
dude, I'm sold, man. So yeah, him and I have been talking. He's down in San Diego, so
yeah.
But yeah, that's in fact, without further ado, this was built for me by Roaster Guitars, and came in this beautiful coffin case here. And all my life, I wanted a Paul Stanley Iceman, and Roaster said, "I'll build you a gold one."
Oh, that's
so building a gold cracked mirror Iceman.
And that is so beautiful.
Golden Wolf, and it's the Wolf edition. And this was all custom made for her by Guitar Heads, which is all my custom guitars have guitar head pickups in them. I can't say enough about
Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne and his company. He just they're back east, and man, there's fingerprints on it. See, that's the worst thing about having a mirrored guitar. Yeah. Anyway, that's my baby right there, and
that is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
wow.
It's gold, and I like gold. So
look at that thing! Look at that thing shine. I mean, it picks up. Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. I can't wait to get some laser lights going against it, so I can
make some cool videos.
Blind some people. I mean,
seizures.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Seizures all around.
Speaking of the devil, who has come in? He's come in from the rain.
But yeah, I got that one. That was my recent one. Let's see. I bought this one. Speaking of guitar heads, he sells guitar hardware. He sells anything from pickups to pewter inlays. He sells it all. And this was one of his show guitars that he used to take to guitar shows and to display his pewter wear for it. It's got the active guitar head pickups in it. It's everything that could have pewter on it has been done with the pewter. It's
that's beautiful.
the only Les Paul I own, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm going to get rid of it, and I'd like to get a good home. I'll give you first shot at it." I'm like, "Mail it. I'll send the money. I'll figure it out."
No
But,
doubt. That's a beautiful
it's
guitar.
It's a bad
That's
machine.
awesome.
Yeah, that
was
is.
built by Guitar Heads, and then Chaos Guitar put this together for me.
Oh,
And
my word.
I always wanted a Steve Vai model.
Yeah,
And
wow.
so what I did was I bought a kit guitar and I started I painted it, but I didn't know anything about doing any of the electronics in it or so on. So I met Chaos, Dave, and who's going to fly out here and deliver me my next custom guitar, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, I painted it. I always wanted a gold sparkly guitar, and so I sat out in the garage and ran around. I bought all the gold spray paint in town, and everybody thought I was a huffer because anytime I went anywhere, to get this to lay out the Metaflake to lay out correctly, you've got to, because it's under a lot of pressure, you got to really like pay attention. So I'd get too much in one spot, not enough in another, and then I'd have to start over. Long story short, I walked around with gold glitter in my mustache, in my hair, in my eyelashes. I had hooker dust everywhere, man. Everywhere.
Love it. And you call it the same thing.
Yeah,
You call it the same thing.
Tell your wife, I'm like, I swear, it's just paint. Just paint.
That's
I don't know where that came from. That's awesome. By the way,
Yeah.
this is James. What's going on, buddy?
What's up,
Gary?
man?
What's up,
Hey,
Nick?
Dave.
How's it going?
Sorry to pull you from your reggae concert, brother.
Oh no, you're good. No, I didn't want to miss this at all. I mean, so I just wanted to go there, get something to do and something to enjoy for a little bit, and
I see.
I'll home for this. So totally good.
Yeah.
Anyway, this one right here is called King Midas. It was born out of chaos. Dave built it for me,
Bad boy. Let's go
and
see
it's a
this one.
great guitar.
Oh, that's a beautiful guitar.
Anyway,
There's one guitar that I saw on
Ibanez.
his Instagram called the Golden Wolf. That thing is, I'm not sure if you saw it. That thing is
Yeah,
beautiful.
he actually just showed it off it again for James here. He wants to see the close up of that the Golden
The
Wolf.
Golden Wolf.
audio is really hard, man.
Yeah. Oh, your audio.
Is it?
The audio is. Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm getting a big echo and a lot of distortion.
Oh, that's not good.
On my end.
No, I don't. I think I can hear you fine. That's weird.
I can't hear him.
You
I'm
guys
not
can't
sure.
hear us anymore?
Barely. It's really distorted.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, so here is the fix. You have to come in, go back in again.
Oh,
They
me?
can say
Okay.
here's fine,
Yeah.
so.
Because I
Okay.
think we can hear each other fine.
So I'll just hit leave and then log back in.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah.
Okay. Be right back.
I mean, real quick, I do sound. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. They can say I hear just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. It must have been just their audio, but they're using iPhones and stuff. So yeah, it's still cool though. But oh man, that Golden Wolf is beautiful. There we go.
Oh yeah, I saw it yesterday. I'm like, wow, that thing is just amazing.
Yeah. Now I can hear you.
Cool. Yeah, it's crazy. It's sometimes iPhones. I don't know what it is. We had a problem with an iPhone last week too, so it was just weird. Or a couple weeks ago. But let's see the golden. James wants to see the Golden Wolf again.
I think it's beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, it's I get all of my guitar straps from Jody Head. who's built them for Dimebag. She built them for Emmylou Harris, Merle Haggard. She builds straps for the stars. Anyway, follow her. It's head.jodi, Jodi. She makes guitar straps like none other. And she sent me this one for Christmas.
Wow.
For this one.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's
amazing.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. I've always liked it. Look at me. There we go. And it's
Holy
shiny.
moly.
It's always nice when you get a one-of-one
Beautiful.
guitar.
The Golden Wolf, and it says Wolf Edition right here. All of that
That's
was
awesome.
custom made by guitar head pickups.
Nice.
I can't remember where he bought the knobs from, but yeah. Anyway, it's my Paul Stanley Gold Iceman, and the more I talk, the more I spit on it. It's driving me crazy. But I can see where this is going to become a severe obsession with keeping this thing clean. You know, I'm like, whose damn idea was it to get a mirrored guitar? Oh,
So beautiful, though. So beautiful.
yeah, it certainly gets your attention. I got this one for sale, by the way. It's an acoustic Flying V Dean, electric acoustic, that I'm going to take this opportunity to show you guys. So if anybody's interested in this, I'll make them a good deal, but I don't play it, so I
An
make
acoustic Flying V. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. And it's got the pickup, mids, present. It's got reverb built into it and so on. But yeah, I bought it from Chaos Guitars. He picked it up and flipped it real quick to me, and it's just sat in the corner, and that's why it's dusty right now. But anyway, we're thinking about getting rid of this one.
Yeah, people watching, if you guys see this, this is the perfect opportunity getting a Flying V that's unique because it's acoustic. That's crazy. I've never even heard of acoustic Flying V, which is, amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's one of a kind for sure.
What kind of Les Paul did I see you jamming in yours on your?
I have a Gibson Studio.
Yeah, that's what mine is. It's a Les Paul.
I think it's a Les Paul Studio. Isn't that what it is? I think so.
It's ultra. I like it because it's lighter.
No, it just says Les Paul model.
Yeah, it might be just a standard. Yeah, I got this. I was like, hey, this is totally lighter than, because I guess what they do with the studios is they cut off a little bit of the edging on it. So that it makes it a lot lighter of a guitar. So when I play it, I don't feel like I have to have some back surgery.
God, no kidding, man. That's the thing I didn't like about Les Pauls. I really wasn't a big fan of the neck. I'm more of an Ibanez. I like the flat, wide neck, and the string spacing's a little wider on an Ibanez and so on. Speaking of Gibsons, I have this Epiphone Goth V that I bought off of a coworker. I bought this and the amp I played through for $300.
Oh, you can't beat that.
Now, I quit that job that I worked with him at, and then I got him hired on at this new place I'm working at. And every day I have to listen to him talk about, man, sure would like to buy that guitar back from you.
You ain't getting it back.
Like, nope.
They go for $350 on the internet. So how am I going to take a loss on something I got a great deal on?
Right.
You can pay $350 for it. You can pay $350 for it.
Yeah.
This one right here,
$350, please.
this right here
Look at
is
these.
the baddest guitar I own right here.
Hey, let's go see this one. I gotta go.
This is Bad Wolf,
throw this one.
and it's completely hand built by Billy's Guitar Shop.
Holy moly! Look at that bad boy.
And he is an incredible builder. He drew. I told him I wanted. I sent him a picture of an old Disney wolf, and I said, I want you to paint that or put it, print it out or whatever and put it on my guitar, and I'm going to call it Bad Wolf. And so him and I, through text messaging or through Instagram, totally built this together. I like, dude, I want knobs with that are the dice knobs, and I want them all on
cool.
I want a micro kill switch on it. Once again, guitar head pickups, and he distressed this. I said, I just want look at this neck.
Oh wow!
Neck
yeah, I like the way it looks like it's worn. Like it's worn out a little bit. I just
Yeah,
having that look, that distress.
And like I
Very
said,
nice.
this guitar plays like butter, dude. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's my pride and joy. There's my killer guitar strap made by Jody Head. She does good stuff, man. But anyway,
Wow.
I can't recommend that dude enough. You guys got to go and check them out. Cadillac 3, the country band. They their singer plays a Telecaster that he made for them, and once again found him on Instagram. I'm like, hey man, I wanted the telly head on the strap body.
I love it. That's exactly. I was looking at that.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So yeah, it just adds a different look to it.
Well, does it have the neck? It has the whole neck, doesn't it?
Right. Well, what I did was I bought the neck. I seen the neck on his thing because he makes custom necks, and I said, dude, how much for that neck? And he's like, well, and then through talking, the next thing I know, I'm like, how much for that body? How much for you just to put a guitar together for me? I paid
How much is the whole thing?
ridiculously low sum for that guitar, and he sells quality stuff. And so definitely check him out. It's at Billy's Guitar Shop on Instagram and Facebook. Just type it in, Billy's Guitar Shop. You'd be really, he specializes in distressing new products to make them look old. And I had no idea about his guitar building experience other than he builds them and sells them. And so I just took a shot, and I couldn't be happier, man. That's my baby right there.
Yeah, I love it.
Like building a hot rod.
Yeah, that's
What kind of
exactly
amp
what
do
it
you play
is.
through, man?
I got a Marshall something. I think it's one of the digital ones actually. It's a 200 DFX.
Oh,
So it has the digital effects on it. Yeah. So it has like the reverb. It has like 4 different effects that it has built into it.
right.
And it's loud enough. I could gig with this, or I could take it to somewhere, small venue, and mic it. And then I don't have to bring as many effects if I don't want to. But we got to buy pedals. What are you guys using for pedals?
I don't have a single pedal. Well, I got an MXR talk box, and then I have this Line 6. I have a Act 2 digital guitar amplifier that has got like 99 banks of just. I bought it from a guitar teacher who said it was too much amp for him. He never used it, and so I bought it. And I gotta agree, it's so much amp, it's crazy. It's got a wah pedal and a volume pedal, and then 6 channels down here that you can go through. But this one right here is one of the best purchases I ever made.
I just bought it.
Get one for $250. You can't beat it. Wasn't even that much. $215.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
got everything built into it. It's light. It's a Bluetooth speaker. You can plug your phone into it and Bluetooth it.
But it's got like an app with backing tracks.
It's got an app with backing tracks. This thing, you start playing the song. So you play D, G, A, F. Next thing you know, it's adding drums and bass to it, all on its own. It's nuts, man. If you want to play a song, say, I want to play Unchained by Van Halen. Type in Unchained, bam, there's the tab and the backing music for it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. Anyway.
Yeah, I actually just bought it, and I have not played with it as much as I'd like.
I hardly use mine at all.
Yeah. I got it. I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. It does have like 10,000 tones. That's the big thing.
Right.
The only gotcha was that the Bluetooth cuts out occasionally. And I was talking to, I guess she's a wholesaler of Positive Grid, or she has an affiliate with them.
Right.
And Alex, and she was actually on our show once. She said I should talk to the manufacturer, Positive Grid, and they'll take my complaint and see what they can do to help support, because they said they have excellent support. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I have enjoyed this Marshall amp, and I've played other Marshall amps throughout my time. I'm a big Marshall person. I was an AC/DC kid. I grew up on AC/DC and wanted to play exactly like them.
Definitely a Marshall tone with that. Yeah.
Right.
That tube tone, right? Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So
yeah,
I got a Line 6. I have this amp right here that I play through all the time. It just says RG100 on it. I don't know, man, but just the dirty channel on it is better than any of the other amps that I've played. I've got a little 75 watt. What is that? One of the PV
Viper, yeah.
Yeah, PV Viper. That's a pretty cool amp for being able to just walk into some place, plug it in, and fill the room with music.
Yeah, sound.
Yeah, I used to have the big amps and stuff, and God, I don't miss those days hauling that shit around.
That's a total truth.
The whole cabinet and stuff. Jesus Christ, your 75-pound Marshall head. Yeah. Anyway, that's one thing I do miss, though. I miss having it go, and that was what was fun about playing it in the Tekka for Johnny and me.
Yeah.
Is I just rolled in, plug in one amp, one guitar, and bam, I'm set to go. We didn't mic the amps. You didn't need to for the size of the room. Yeah, it was fun.
That's cool.
So who's the chef in the group?
This is Mr. Chef right here. He is the Bearded Metal Chef on Instagram.
Yeah, I just started following him. Good page, man. Good page.
Thank you.
So are you actually a chef?
Oh yeah, actually, I've been cooking for I think I've been cooking since 2000. Not cooking since 2000, but I've been in the restaurant industry or cooking industry, whatever. I started in fast food. That was kind of like my first restaurant, and then from steakhouses to barbecue to fine dining to now I'm at a country club.
That's nice.
Kind of all around. Yeah.
Which gets us back to desserts really quick. Since we have the chef, I'm still on a diet, guys. So I'm going to just go and kind of bow out with some really horrible diet dessert snack stuff. I've been eating these green pea snap crisps.
No, God, yes. Man. Yeah, my girl eats those. She eats those too.
They're horrible. They're horrible. Like
the dog won't even eat them.
No,
the dog's like, "What are you giving me?"
I'm still losing that 15 pounds that I've always been losing.
Hey, there you go. That's all that matters.
Right. That's right.
I got the busted scale, so I lost 15 pounds, and then the scale got busted. So I'm hanging on to that one. I'm hanging on to that one. Right. But I'm going to tell you that today is going to be a bake-off, because I think that Gary has produced something that nobody else will probably have produced, at least up to date. I don't think anybody's made something so cool. And what did you bring, Gary?
I brought. Can you talk to him for just a minute and let me go get it?
Yep.
I'll be right back.
We'll talk to Nick really quick. What's going on, Nick? So he has a 2-hour show, and you know what? You guys should hook up on Instagram. He is a huge metal fan as well. That's why he's the Bearded Metal Chef.
Right on. Yeah, I've seen that.
And Nick, he's a specialist in finding rare metal. Like metal that probably some of people have heard of or have not heard of. What's some of the metal? So list some of the metal bands that you're kind of playing on your radio show.
Some of the ones.
Oh, dude, I kind of do the whole spectrum of the '80s, man. I go from glam to heavy metal, power metal, even into Black and Death, old school Black and Death stuff. I mean, I play a lot of bands you've probably heard of, but I try to pick songs that people may not have heard before, because in my opinion, that's some of the best stuff. So I try to cover the whole thing.
What's an example?
That's what I was gonna ask too. That's what I was gonna ask too. What kind of metal you listen to? Because I wrote down like a bunch of I wrote down like glam metal and doom metal and speed metal and like grindcore stuff or whatever.
Right.
I try and listen to a little bit of each here and there, especially back in the '80s. I mean, that was like where it was killer. I think it was shredding there. Oh my god!
Oh, dude,
rip your face off.
It'll rip your face off, man.
Yeah.
What's your favorite metal? What's your favorite metal, James and Nick? What is your what's like from the '80s? What would you say this is like?
So
metal,
if I had to say the band that really got me started in the '80s stuff, like when I was a teenager, I listened to like a shitload of Metallica, and I burned myself out on Metallica nowadays, but that kind of like got me into the whole thing, and I've just kind of branched out from there, man. In my opinion, a lot of the bands that nobody really knows are like the best bands. Like,
there's some killer Swedish rock.
And then like I think there's a lot of new bands. There's a whole like genre of metal. It's called new wave and traditional heavy metal, and it's just a bunch of now new current bands playing in the vein of the '80s stuff. And I like that shit a lot too. I play a lot of that on my show. So you got bands like there's Skullfist, Enforcer, Ambush, a bunch of bands like that. Man, they're playing '80s metal, but they're current. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. What have you heard any of those, James?
I mean, Metallica. Yeah, I mean, obviously I haven't heard Metallica, but I mean, growing up wise, like when I first got into when I was a kid, I didn't know what metal was, but I knew like of them when I grew up. You know what I'm saying? So, like I knew where I was mostly raised by like my dad or my mom were playing classic rock or like I said.
Yeah, same here, man. I grew up with it, and now it's just kind of branched off on my own.
Yeah, that's cool.
See, I grew up in when I started playing guitar, and I met a buddy in junior high. And I lived in Canada, and Rush was the only band in Canada, you know, as far as anybody was concerned with rock and roll. So that's how I learned all my Rush tunes. Yeah. And then I was sitting around by ear and nailing it. And I got my dessert, by the way.
All right, let's go see this dessert. Let's see this dessert.
So, for this show, I made my special brownies. Fudge brownie, fudge, I should say. And I have, of course, Nipple can't have any because
I don't partake.
But I have this wonderful Northern California, which is the reason why I'm here. That's the lid to my butter dish.
That's the special butter.
And that's the special butter. Homegrown, and it's wonderful stuff, man. It's makes you sleep at night, makes you go to grass and sing. So it's a wonder.
Yeah. I saw that you had. I saw your picture, and you had sativa and wedding cake. Both are like really good strains of.
Yeah, sativa. That's what that's made out of. In fact, I was going to make Rice Krispie cakes with it because I'm not allowed to turn on the oven, and so I'm not allowed to start the dishwasher, and I'm not allowed to turn the oven on. So that's no bake fudge, and I make Rice Krispie cakes, which I was gonna make for the show, but I didn't get it done in time. Was my sativa. What did I call them last night? The sativa.
Enda Krispy Treat.
Oh, Enda Krispy Treat.
Enda Krispy Treat.
Anyway, I grew 6 plants this year, and we grew one hybrid that we bought in Brookings, Oregon, and then the other 6 were out of the ground, and from seed, just throw it in the dirt and grow it. And I couldn't be happier with the results this year. In fact, my wedding cake is hanging upside down in the shed outside. But high yield this year for 6 plants. Next year, 12 plants. So.
Wow, that's good. And now do you,
Well,
are you able to
definitely the first guest. They say you're definitely the first guest that bring edibles to the show. So,
dude, that doesn't surprise me. Actually,
well, look at where they're from. I mean, Northern California is like a primo growing area, right?
Yeah, it's a way of life around here. But
pretty much.
Yeah, the other day I got a funny story. The other day, my girl went to the store, the pot shop, and bought these little drinks, and they're like, what was it, Blood Moon Orange or something like that. And normally in the state of California, you get 10 milligrams in each dose serving. You can't have a bigger dose than in a single serving, 10 milligrams. So I grabbed one of these. I'm like, you know what? I bet vodka goes good with this. So pour a little vodka in. Make myself a drink. Start drinking it. It's about, I don't know, about 10 o'clock. I thought it'd be a good idea to have another one of these things. So at about 2 o'clock in the morning,
on a work night,
I'm still sitting here and I'm like, oh shit, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. We best get to sleep. Then my girl goes and shows me that, oh no, they're 20 milligrams a piece. And so, Jesus Christ, I was like, only humans are the only species that will intentionally hurt themselves. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
This guy's sliced my age and parties harder than I can ever dream of partying.
Yeah. Cut from a different cloth back in those days.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't want to that shit. Yeah, we didn't have to wear seatbelts.
True. There was a time. I mean, there was a time where you didn't have to wear seatbelts. So,
dude, I used to lay in the back of my mom's '69 Catalina where the back glass, the back deck tray. I used to lay in there when she was driving around town.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like a little baby rocket. Yeah, standing up in the front seat of my dad's sports car and him hit me in the chest to keep me from flying through the windshield when he slams on the face. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
There was one time where I did visit California, and I was staying with my aunt and her husband and my cousin, and my aunt's husband uses edibles to sleep, and so this was like 10 years ago. It was like 10 years ago probably. And she's like, oh, try one. You can try one, whatever. So I try one, and yeah, that thing knocked me out. I never had edibles before, but yeah, that thing knocked me out. And they live in like Northern California.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's what they've legalized now here in California is mushrooms. So really? you can go down the street and buy a chocolate bar with psychedelic mushrooms in it. So it's $30, man. So now, so now we got people standing. True story. I seen a guy today. We got a pretty big homeless population in this little town. Yeah. So anyway, he's standing there on the street corner like this with no sign. He's just standing there. I'm like, bro.
Maybe he thought he was holding the sign.
What are you asking for? You need gas, you need money, food, you looking for work. Nope. Just standing here with this empty cardboard, my clear cardboard.
Well, you know what? For the other people using the mushrooms, they probably could read into that. Yeah, I know what that sign says.
Yeah, maybe it was just like the code. You know what I'm saying? Like only if you had the mushrooms, you could read it.
That's right.
Andy, where do you guys live? What cities do you guys live in?
Go ahead.
I'm
James.
in Florida.
Florida.
I'm near like Tampa, Florida. I'm like I'm near like Sarasota.
Wow, man, that's a
Complete opposite coast.
I know MJR Initiatives from Florida. I follow him. I just played some of his music on my show a couple weeks ago. In fact, I'm going to do it next week. He's got a new album out called Fishman, or
What was that?
Fishman.
Something like
It's
that.
a concept album. It's pretty damn cool. But he wrote it,
What was it?
played
What was the
all
name of the
the equipment stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna
MJR
play him.
Initiative, right? MJR Initiative.
MJR Initiative. Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, Michael
Yeah,
Ridgway, he's a good boy, but he comes from Florida. I told him how about fly to his house, and him and I are gonna grab my Spark and just hit Duval Street and hang out there for a week, play on street corners.
Hey,
that's pretty cool. I'm out of Phoenix, so I'm out of Phoenix.
Out of where?
Phoenix.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in my time zone.
I am in your time zone. Arizona is one of the rare places that doesn't switch. So we are.
Oh, that's
So,
right.
yeah,
That's right.
You're only an hour off when we change time. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well.
Yeah, which is cool. Which is so now it's like 8 or 9 months we're on Pacific. So
Yeah. Anyway.
Cool, man.
So, what are the big plans for your show, man? What you got in the works?
So we have, I mean, we're starting to put actual content, other content. So I'm trying to work on supplemental content. I'm trying to get this man. So I'm gonna get James. James's contribution is his desserts, of course, and whatever else he wants to throw on. But I told him that for all of his desserts, he needs to do at least a short for how he made the dessert, so that we can throw that onto, because he is such a good chef that it would be kind of our contribution, because that's our show is Tasty Licks.
Sure.
So he'd be the
maybe
tasty, and
have
I'm
like
the
whatever.
licks.
Maybe have whoever guests would kind of have like the music behind it or something like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's cool. That's a good idea, man. I'm sure. I like the idea for sure.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was talking to you, and you're like, "So, man, what are you gonna bring for dessert?" And I'm like, "Dessert." And he's like, "Well, yeah, that's why it's called Tasty Licks Music." And I'm like, "Okay." And then the next thing, through conversation, he mentions the word chef, and I'm like, "Oh, damn, man, I don't know how to cook." We spend the last half hour of the show making a dessert or whatever. And so I immediately look at my girl and I'm like, what can I make without baking?
Rice Krispie treats.
she's like, how about some Rice Krispie treats? I'm like, perfect.
It was awesome. So and then I'll be throwing in. I wanted to do reviews. I think my sister has decided that maybe I shouldn't do reviews of like pedals and guitars. And,
that's good.
That's actually a cool thing. I watch a lot of that on YouTube, actually.
I know. Yeah. So I've been thinking about that, but my sister's trying to persuade me to just do some music content, like playing guitar, maybe some lesson stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe a mixture of both. Right. I really like. It probably feeds my habit of, just like you, buying new guitars and then trying them out, and and saying, hey, this is what's awesome about these. And I'm one short of the big four, so I just need to get an SG, and then I have the big four. I got the Strat, the Tel, and then I got the Les Paul, and then I just want the SG, and then I got one of those D'Angelico guitars the other day.
Oh yeah.
They're pretty. I'm not. They're not they're not an ES350 or anything. I don't think it's a good hollow body. It sounds decent. But I enjoy, the look of it is pretty cool. It looks like an old times 50s. It looks like an old Gibson. Yeah. So yeah, so that's what I've been toying with. Probably doing shorts to go along with the show itself, so that we can do shorts to keep promoting. I do TikTok, so I'm just slowly converting the TikTok into music.
Right.
So go ahead.
Oh, I'm very new at TikTok. So one of the videos I posted is, some people are just freaking can make a movie with one, and I'm lucky just to add smoke to a guitar solo and stuff. So all my stuff's pretty bad.
I never even posted on TikTok.
Really?
No.
No.
I've tried to do that
on
Instagram. TikTok a couple times. I cannot figure that out.
Right. Me too.
Hey, check this out.
Yeah.
Can you see that? This octopus
Oh wow,
Oh wow.
with the skull.
Oh, we gotta see that. Let me see that.
that's
closer.
badass.
Hang on. Let's get
That was
everybody.
hand painted by Maze Monster on Instagram. She lives in Texas and she paints saw blades. Let me
Oh,
show
that's
you.
cool.
It's cool.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that is. Let me see it again. Hang on one second. Let me go throw that up. Oh,
And-
that is.
Wow.
Wow.
And she sprinkled gold dust all over it. And anyway, it's I just wanted to shout her out real quick on your show. She only charged me $200 to do this, bro.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
I know. This is like a $99 Kramer guitar that I just said, hey, do me a favor. I'm going to send this to you and just paint me a skull with something on it. Just do whatever you want to do. And a month later, this was back in the mail to me, $200, and I'm like, this is one of the best paint jobs I've seen, all hand painted and so on. She put gold flakes in it and then cleared it all for me as well. So anyway,
Wow.
shout out to Maze Monster. She sells these custom painted saw blades, which the way I met her is I bought a Harley Davidson one to go on my phone. And anyway, it's a good follow. But
Yeah, for sure. Those are beautiful. Especially, that's the one thing is there's so much art that goes into guitars.
absolutely, dude, it's an endless canvas.
Yeah. Which is really, really cool. I mean, this is just perfect examples. I have gone with plain old Jane. I have a black Telecaster. I have a black D'Angelico. I have a white Strat. I have that. I do think the studio looks good. It's kind of that raw wood. It has that stained, but it's like a more wood look. It looks like a piece of wood instead of, it doesn't have that high gloss finish or anything like black. So, but I enjoy that one. But yeah, how beautiful. And you know what? Vintage guitars. So we were seeing that other vintage, what was it? What was the Woof? Not the WofeMan, the other one, but the one that you really love as well. The custom one that you had built with. It looks vintage. The vintage one. Yeah. So the vintage look is so in right now. It's unfunny. The vintage look. I mean, everybody's trying to look like old 60s and 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And to be able to take a guitar and then make it look vintage like that and make it look as professional. That's
that's an art form within itself right there.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy is that he showed me what he was going to do, and I told him, like, take a little more off right here, man. Get rid of a little more right here, and don't take so much off from right here. I mean, it was that custom with this guy, and he's just like this, and I'm like, dude, perfect. And he just nailed it. But yeah, the whole, isn't that crazy? And it's going to be controversial what I say, but you pay all this money for a brand new guitar, and whenever, I don't understand when a Gibson Les Paul that is all checked out was ever thought to be cool, man. I was like, I'd be pissed off if like the finish on my expensive guitar is starting to crack all over the place. But nowadays, that's cool. Well, dude, people want that, and I'm like, I just don't get it.
I want your case.
Right?
$200 Kramer guitar. The Marzio Super Distortion. That's all I've ever done to it, and I played this one. Anything really,
but
$200.
Yeah, but it's nuts to me that. I mean, I get like people wanting distressed guitars. I wanted one to look like it was an old beat up guitar. And the beauty of it is if I nick it or I put a scratch on it, that's cool. It's kind of like having a rat rod. Right? But
if somebody's gonna steal something, they're gonna go in, who wants this beat up guitar? Nobody. And then they'll move on to the next one.
Right.
You know what's funny is like I forgot what country it is, but like they actually like deck out like old beat up, like they actually make the car like look like crap, but the inside of it looks like awesome.
Right.
Well, that's what these guitars are.
Of the junkyard. Like,
right. That's exactly the way, my next hot rod is going to be a rat rod where it looks like Oh,
love
you
wherever
slammed the car door into it. I don't want anybody to park close to me because they'll be scared.
That way you can park anywhere and nobody's gonna touch it.
My dad had an old Maverick, like a 73 Maverick, and it originally had a vinyl top on the top where you had to go and do something with it. Well,
Right.
I live in Arizona, so the sun baked it off like
Right.
years ago. And it
Right.
became and there was no paint or anything on the other side. It was just so it just became rusted.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no finish, nothing. So it just my dad had that. He rode that thing for years, and it was such a beater. And it was so embarrassing when I was a kid. I was like, "Yeah, this is my dad's car. It's a '73 Maverick. It's a classic, but
Right.
it looked like it. But you would never steal the thing. It looks like a junkyard mobile."
Hey, that's how you should do it.
Though? Somebody would steal it nowadays.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a
No.
73 freaking Maverick.
Right.
It was a beauty. It was that thing. That thing lasted for 30 to. I think he just
Right.
got rid of it. He just got rid of it. I was like, that
And
thing's
probably
a
got a
classic. Where
good
are
price
you?
for it too.
Oh, yeah, I'm
He
sure.
did.
Yeah.
He did. He sold it to a
works
guy
at
who
a
knew
car
what he was doing.
dealership, and they have a 81 Chevette
No, it's a an 81 Chevy Chevette. Yeah. they were
with
like-
48,000 miles on it. They want 10 grand for it.
What?
Oh no!
Like
Wow.
an 81 Chevette, dude. They weren't that much when they were new.
Wow.
It's stupid.
But it says 81 on it. It says 81.
Right.
Right, exactly.
Right. They only got 48,000 miles on it because that was all it could go.
He's so right. Oh, that's hilarious.
And Nick H said that he saw that for Crescent City. He's in Palm Springs.
No, cool. Right on, man.
Right.
Nice.
That's where my
They
family.
should-
Well, I have where my aunt lives. They live in like Hemet County, like San Jacinto.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a relative before you came on. We were talking about it. Lived in Klamath, which is 20 miles from here, and
Yeah, that's weird to me. Like,
yeah, you have to go over this road called Last Chance Grade.
yeah, that's slid
And
off into the ocean.
It's slid off. It's every year it slides off the mountain. I mean,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
it's a good 500 feet down to the ocean.
Oh my
And-
god!
Anyway,
It's terrible.
we had a huge landslide last year, and so it cut us off. The only way to get from Klamath to Crescent City is a 5-hour drive around the mountain
To go 20 miles.
to go 20 miles.
Oh,
So-
Oh my god!
They freaking carved into the side of the mountain through the landslide a 1-lane road. While they're
Oh,
still
man.
trying to secure the rest of it, dude, it's a mess, man.
For 40-some years.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
scary.
Exactly. So, anyway, I've been to Klamath. I was in Klamath 2 days ago at the Payme gas station, and that's a rough town, brother. You don't want to hang out in Klamath too long.
This is our family. This is our family hermitage here.
Right? Ever since they built the casino, man, you best get your stuff and keep moving.
That's so true. Is it one of those casinos like you see, like it's a shack?
Right. Right. Well, they're building a new casino. We have one here in Crescent City, but they're building a new one down at the end of the street. And yeah, I'm real excited about that.
Yeah.
Now I get all the traffic and the bumps.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Yeah.
So Arizona has the.
Oh,
the
I'm gonna have to
native-
log out and log back in. We did that thing again.
Oh.
Uh,
How was your reggae fest, dude? How was it?
it was good. I got there. I was there for a couple hours. Like I said, I got there because it takes like 45 minutes to get there, so I want to make sure I have plenty of time to get back. And I mean, I made it back. I mean, it was only like 15 minutes late, I think. So it wasn't that bad. But it was good.
Oh.
Like I said, the guy I got the tickets from, he was one of the vendors there. So he did a couple. He makes hot sauce, and that's where I got the tickets from. And so I got a couple hot sauces and stuff like that. And I was talking to him a little bit, and because another guy that I talked to too, he owns a company called Face Monster, which he does a lot of like the artwork. He did some of the artwork for this guy.
Your bets.
So because so I got some of that to support that guy.
Oh, right on, man. Right on. That's good.
Yeah, it was a good
So,
time.
yeah, good times.
So I missed what
So,
kind of dessert, James, you made, bro.
yeah, we didn't get to. Let's see what he. Let's see
I
what he
didn't see
got.
that. Yeah. I went with the brownies too. They're not special. They're regular.
There's no special butter in those. There's no
They're just-
special butter.
They're
in those.
just regular brownies. But I have like some pineapple mango like sorbet that I made too. So
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Pineapple mango sorbet.
I'd be all over
Oh, I'm
that.
telling you what, bro, it's on next time. It's on.
you kind of got me beat because I mean, at least your dessert will put me out.
His
Mine
are
won't.
Right.
his are homegrown.
My homegrown fudge. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
but yeah, I just take it before bed, man. That way I don't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning wide awake. So
Oh, I hate that. That's the worst feeling ever.
it's better than any prescription medications.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I
I
agree
bet.
with
Oh
you.
yeah, I'm full.
I don't walk
fully-
around and try to drown my girlfriend in the hot tub or throw her into the ambient fog.
That's the.
You want to hear a funny story? Is when I met her, she was taking Ambien to go to sleep, and well, I started weaning her off of that because I'm like, yeah, that's some nasty stuff, man. And
Good.
and so in the middle of the night, it's like the second week that she's off of them, and so she's having a hard time sleeping. I wake up in the middle of the night, and she's going on my lips with her fingers. And I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? And she goes, I'm playing with this caterpillar. I guess she thought it was my
Oh
mustache.
my god!
I'm like, that's it. We're growing pot. We're getting some edibles. We're
That's some
weaning
strong
you
stuff.
off. True story.
Wow.
You want to talk about waking up pissed off, man.
That's
You
crazy.
got somebody playing with your
Wow.
lips while you're waking up.
Good
Oh
time.
man. So who's on next week? You got a game plan?
We do, we do. So, my sister is in Jamaica, and we gave her some vacation time to also not hang out with us. Her husband is turning the big 40 tomorrow, actually.
Oh wow.
And so
cool.
my sister went down to Jamaica, and it sounds like a song, but so she went down to Jamaica, and
Jamaica.
have you guys ever heard that? The devil goes down to Jamaica?
Go one done.
You guys should go look it up. It's exactly what we're talking about. It's one of those. It's
Really?
it's a pot song. It's a pot
Yeah.
song. It's awesome.
Go one down to Jamaica.
But the devil goes down to Jamaica. And anyway, so Nicole and her husband went down to, and so we took the 2 weeks off, and so I said, hey Gary, what are you doing Thursday? And he's like, because now I'm the booker. And he says, I'm coming on your show. I said, yes, you are. And then next week we have our friend Ben coming on. So Ben Taft, he's a lead singer for a metal band out of New England. So out of New York. So upstate New York. Yeah. So he's actually really, really talented. The guy that's the voice on our intro, that's him. He's a really good.
Cool.
He's that screamer. He's had 2 or 3 bands, and then he's also done some here and there things where he's like been on video games, and I mean he's just
really?
Yeah, very talented guy.
Cool.
He's
That's
one of
cool.
those guys that he's like he's had a couple bands, and he's one of those guys that he can do the screaming thing for hours. He can sing in that because he uses his diaphragm. He does all the right stuff for being able to vocalize it.
Right.
Very talented dude. So we'll have him on next week. And then after that, Nicole is coming back, and she will throw something on our plate as always.
Cool.
I'm gonna try and talk to a. I forgot the name of the band, but I see a couple of videos they do on Instagram. They kind of just scream out phrases, but they do them in like metal voices and metal tones. But they're a band. But I'm gonna try and talk to them, see if I can maybe get them on.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
cool.
cool.
I've shared their stuff before, and they've responded back, so I know I can kind of get a
there
hold
you
of
go.
them and see
Right.
Yeah.
what I can do.
Well, what's interesting, so this is my Andy's claim to fame. Every once in a while I talk to Richard Patrick, like just through Instagram, because he was on our show once, incidentally showed up on our show.
Uh-huh.
But so I'm just like, hey, Richard Patrick, what's going on? And I'm hoping one of these days we'll get him back on. He has like 2 or 3 major projects he just did. So he just completed his album for Filter. And then he has 2 more movie scores that he did.
Mhm.
And then also our friend from We Are Pigs it has just done a new album, and she's from South Africa, so she's an interesting act. She's actually a really interesting act. She was on our second show, right, James?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. She's worked with a bunch of people, like from Filter. They got the band Filter to one of the members of Korn.
Yep, that's what she just did.
A few other people, bands.
Yeah, she's been like
really, really, really talented. Really
Having
She
people on.
did Kitty, so she was with Morgan with Kitty. Yeah,
she did Morgan later. Yeah.
Yep.
So on my show, I bring in from time to time. I'll bring in a local business to talk about their product. You know, like Fog Bake Clothing Company is a huge business here in town. Rumiano Cheese Factory is worldwide. And anyway, I'll have them in the studio. We'll talk. I'll ask them what's going on, what's new and stuff. And then we'll play a couple of songs and blah blah blah. It's just free advertisement for them. Well, I have a buddy that started a detailing business. And I said, "Hey, man, you want to come on and talk about your detailing business?" Yeah, that'd be great. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, so man, tell me a little bit about your business. Well, I detail.
Yeah,
Great, man. What do you detail? Pretty much anything with wheels. And I said, okay. So yeah, how do we get a hold of you? And this is the best. On the Facebook.
And that's it.
I'm like, dude, pulling teeth out of this guy. I'm like, man, give me something, man. I said, didn't you just get a brand new metal polish that you used on my Harley that's supposed to like last forever? And he's like, yep. Yeah. You ever had those kind of guests where you're just like pulling teeth? Like,
we have had, I think, only one guest where we were like, there were some spaces.
some spaces.
Like they were good. They were really talented, but we've actually gotten for the fairmost. I mean, these guys are really talented people.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll be honest with you, we kind of won the lottery with being able to get musicians on that are very talented. I was like, we're not getting bad musicians on at all. We're getting really good musicians.
Especially when we're getting like, constant like live shows. We're getting like a live show in front of, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like sometimes like myself, I'm like, damn, we're not worthy of this. This is something like, and I'm like, this is awesome that we're getting it. You know what I'm saying? We're like grateful for it. Oh my God. But nobody I know does live shows like that. And so that's why I think it's really cool that we have bands that do that. But we've had, we've been pretty fortunate to have some good people on.
Right.
Yeah, really, really talented. And it goes, and what's so weird is the genre goes from like folk to metal.
Right.
We've had folk singers, we've had jazz singers, blues singers, country singers.
Wow.
It's been a huge. Yeah, composers. My dad was even on.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, man.
Yeah.
My dad probably was one of the funny. I mean, this is going to be one of the funniest ones, but my dad literally was funny. He just came on and was just funny, and that was kind of a fun show because he was humorous, and he also played a piece for us, and he like just did it on the fly. So that's what he always does. To me, it was nothing big, but to other people, they're like, "Did your dad just do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what he does. He just makes music up on the fly. He's a composer." And then he showed and then we were able to do music a couple days later where we actually showed it on Instagram or we showed it on somewhere where it was the produced. No, I just showed James. It was what he did with it afterwards. So he goes and throws it into, what is that? Oh, I'm trying to, now I'm going to just forget. It's like Fruit Loops or any of those. What's the most popular music program that everybody records in?
Fruity Loops is one.
Yeah, Fruity Loops is one. And then there's the other one.
Reaper.
Yeah. So he was throwing it into one of those apps. And then he goes and he puts an entire orchestra behind it.
Yeah.
And you're just he does it in he just he does it in his sleep now. He does it a couple hours. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you,
he has a MIDI strip on his piano, so he's able to do a lot of that digitizing stuff to it.
The post that you made about me this morning when I woke up, I'm like, damn, that is cool. I need to know how to do that kind of stuff because that promotion for this show tonight was
pretty epic.
What, the one I did?
It was epic.
The one I did last night?
My friends with us. I'm like, you're seeing it, you're seeing it, you're seeing it. So anyway, I'll certainly bring this show up on my show on Wednesday. God, I forgot what I was going to say now, but that's unusual. I was going to ask James something about it'll come to me in a minute, but
James, you got a couple questions though. I know that James actually came with questions, so let's.
Nice.
What do you got, James?
I'm not. How long? What you guys? What with that and playing Are you on that, or do you just play songs?
Okay, repeat that again. I think you just broke up a little bit, James.
I was gonna say I was saying what guys got you into radio?
Uh-oh.
Is that me?
Yeah, it was you. I don't know what happened there. Broke up, man. It's broken up. It's his. So try it again. Try it again. Yep, try it again. It's the.
Pretty much what got you guys into being on radio?
Oh, well, what got me into it is because I live in a small town and there's very few places to play. And used to be in a band, and so I enjoyed performing and entertaining people. And I thought, wait a minute, community radio, it's an hour a week out of my time, which is nothing. And I'm not doing anything on Wednesdays anyway. So, hey, let's throw my voice out there and the music that I want to hear and hang out at the radio station and party instead of hanging out at home. So, yes.
Do you play on air? Do you play? I know you play music and stuff like that. Do you play your own stuff, got guitar and stuff like that?
I have I did one time. I brought my new guitar. I just got into the studio and tried to live mic it. We got a much better setup now, so I'm thinking about doing something like that. We should. Yeah, we should. Speaking of which, this on Wednesday nights from 7 to 8. I have a new show, or we have a new show. Me and my girl, who is Queen D at the radio station. She's a DJ. Me and NippleNeck. From 7 to 8 on Wednesdays, an hour before my show, we have the Seinfeld. It's like Seinfeld radio hour. It's nothing but us just talking about funny stuff that has happened to us during that week.
I think I heard something on that.
It's about nothing, but man, I had a freaking blast. We're just telling stories of things that have happened to me, stories on the road when I was playing, things that happened at Safeway. It was a good time, and I think we're going to continue to do that. Yeah, and then we play some music in between, but it's really my girl's radio show, but she's not here right now, so she can't argue the fact that it's fine.
Well, for the people that check this out later on, if you want to get a little
yeah, exactly. You can trust me. You'll hear her talk about it.
No, so really, it was.
I was gonna say if you can see how let people know how they can find you and how to find the show.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it's www.kfug radio.org is the website. You can click on the play button in the top right. or you can go to www.onlineradiobox.com and you can listen to any public radio station. Just type in 101.1 KFUG and
KFUG.
KFUG.
So his is Wednesdays 8 to 9,
Nice.
on Saturday 9 to 10.
Yep.
I mean, I said it's only a small 100-watt radio station.
But if you follow me on Instagram, I'll remind you every Wednesday that my radio show is WofeMan, self-serving hour of power. 101.1 KFUG radio.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it.
So
That's
that's
really
what got
cool.
me into radio, man.
It's just fun.
That is
really.
awesome.
So, and like I said, once I played those new artist music and got the reaction that I did from them, and I don't ask for anything, dude. It's my pleasure to make somebody freaking go, damn right, that's my song. It's on the radio right now.
There you
Why
go.
not? So that's the biggest driving factor behind the show. So anyway, any other questions?
Um,
I like
what kind of
questioning.
styles of like music do you play? Do you kind of do like a mix of styles? Or do you play one style?
Yeah.
Or do you play?
Well, see, I played back in the '90s. I was in a cover band called Riff Raff, and we did RIF, RAF, and we were a five piece. But we were on the Chelsea Street pub tour, and what that is in the mall at malls. There's a outside entrance, and it's an Irish pub and restaurant. Well, they had a stage there at and from 9 o'clock till 2 o'clock. When the mall closed, they locked the doors to the inside entrance, and you could only come in from the outside. So it became a nightclub, and so we signed on with them, and I did a tri-state area: New Mexico, Texas, and Louisiana. And they had hundreds of restaurants, so we would just go on this tour. We'd play a week here, we'd play a week here, go home for 2 weeks, whatever. And anyway, so my music is from, it'd be classic rock, cover tunes. I've written some things myself, but and then we had cover originals that we played as well, but. Had Sony come in. I played in Waco, Texas, and that's where I was based out of, which is an hour and a half from Austin, where they have the South by Southwest Festival, and that's where anybody that wants to get signed goes and plays and tries to get the eye of a record executive. Well, that's what we did, and Sony came and sat down and listened to us in Waco, and they loved us, but. They told it, and this stuck with me all my life, man, is they said, you guys look like 5 individuals up there. You don't look like a band. And now granted, this was back when Motley Crue, everybody was wearing, leather and chains or whatever, but, and that wasn't our thing, but it was 5 individuals instead of a band. And that killed me, dude. Killed me. I thought I was going to be famous, man. Now I'm doing radio in Northern California. Volunteering. Somebody told me that I should try out for Sirius, and I think there's some thoughts behind that, but I have no idea what it would take. So I haven't really looked into it.
Well, you got a good voice.
You have a good radio voice. I mean, hell, I keep doing it. I mean, it could take time, but. It's just like that one person, one right listener, I guess you could say. They come across you, and hey,
right? Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. And my buddy Jacob Drummond used to be a professional DJ in the Portland area, and he told me, "Dude, you need to record your show and send it to me so I can get it to some people, and maybe we could get you on the air." And I said, well, that's great and stuff, Jacob, but I don't even know how to load my own songs at the radio station. That's why I have this guy.
Hey, there you go. You got your side guy.
I'm not allowed to push buttons. I just use my mic up and down.
They don't let me push the buttons.
Man, they don't let you push buttons. They don't let you touch the stove, man. Oh my God, you can't do a lot of stuff.
It was funny. Last year when we were at the radio station, it was winter time, and there was a strip with an extension cord on it with one of those strips, and there was this oil heater next to it. And well, it was cold in the studio.
This is where all the radio equipment's hooked in.
It's all right there. And so I'm like, well, hey, let's plug this thing in. Plug the heater into it. So I plugged the heater into it, and the entire house goes down. Boom. Black. It's black, man. And because the radio station's in an old house, and so it's dead air, and I have no idea what the breaker box is or nothing. So we're banging around inside this house looking for something, and I go outside, and about that time, the owner who lives in another house across the parking lot comes running up and goes, and just as I find the outside breaker box, I kick it back on, and everything lights back up. But we're still not on the air anymore. And he goes, and Nick and Debbie are with me, and he goes, what happened? Did somebody plug in the heat? Or
did somebody see a power outage, or what happened?
Yeah, what happened? Did you guys plug that heater in?
Yeah.
And these guys are like, he's got his drink in his hand. He's like, nope. And I'm like, hell yeah, Paul, I just plugged it in and the whole house was dark.
Yeah, he threw us under the bus. It was terrible.
So that reminds me of obviously the whole Christmas vacation where he's got like 30 plugs into one outlet.
On the air, I gotta fix this again.
Oh dang!
All right.
You know, talking like the Christmas vacation where he's got like 30 plugs plugged into one. it's like a disaster.
I know.
All right, now we're back. So,
cool.
But anyway, yeah, we got some good stories, man. 7 to 8 on Wednesdays. I don't know if it'll be a regular thing.
At least every once.
Yeah, just because we sit around here and do it. Why not make other people laugh? Because some of them are pretty damn funny.
Yeah. When you went out, I mentioned to Andy that it's almost like the scene from Christmas Vacation where he's got like 30 plugins to one outlet.
Yes. with
Did you plug in the heater? No.
Plug in the heater.
Yeah, you lying dog. I plugged it in, man. Anyway,
it's hilarious.
It's crazy. We just got. It's a low voltage radio station. So you get it around town, but you're not getting it once you leave town. And so that's the beauty of the internet. It's pretty much internet based, and so
I'd say about 99% of our listeners are
right. Well, I have 8 listeners, and
probably.
I think,
that's the thing that sucks is that I can't tell how many people are listening anyway, other than the people that communicate with me while I'm on Instagram on the air. But because I certainly unplugged the phone, I don't really want to talk to the local people. Like, Bob, I know this is you. I'm not playing Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I'm not doing it, bro. Yeah, right.
Can you play Don't Fear the Reaper again, please?
yeah.
I love even though I do love Don't Fear the Reaper, but
me too. Yes, we got a bunch of them that I can't ever play on the radio. Ride Like the Wind. Freebird. Well, yeah. I've never played Freebird on the air, but anyway.
The 8, 12, 20-minute version of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can go out and get a drink, smoke, come back. Still on.
Yeah.
We do.
We put on the 7-minute song. It's like, bro, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta pee. I'm gonna go make another drink. And because the cool thing is I live 2 minutes from the radio station. I just live around the corner. So I make him drive. We start the pre-party about 5:30, man, and it's 8 o'clock. It's on. So. And then we come back to my house and play in this. Yeah, it's I got one other guitar I want to show you.
Oh, cool.
That's what I like, man. He's got a bunch of like killer guitars.
Oh, he totally does.
This one's a pretty interesting one.
Is that hollowed out?
It's a Yamaha silent guitar.
Oh my god.
Oh,
And it's runs on a 9-volt right here, back here, and it's got chorus, reverb, 2 different kinds of reverb, echo, and chorus built into it. You can plug your headphone or your phone in here from your headphone jack and play along with your headphones because it has a auxiliary volume right here. So and then I can take that setup and play it through my amp or through my Spark and so on. But it's cool because you just do this. You take this off and you take this off and you pull this off and it all fits in a case that makes it, and it's super lightweight. It's made by Yamaha. It's called the Yamaha Silent Guitar. They make a classical version and they make a steel string version. And I take this on when I used to go on cruises. I would take this with me because it was so easy to travel with. Anyway, that's a cool one right there.
that is really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's why. So when I was like, he's a cool radio DJ, but the guitarist in me said, let's get this guy on for all the crazy cool guitars that this guy has as well. Just look at these.
This one right here is my very first guitar I bought for myself. It's a Grinch Beast 5000. When I was 16, I used to work at Baldwin Piano and Organ Company in Denver. And we sold guitars. We were the only store in the country for Baldwin that sold guitars. Anyway, back in 1990, I was playing with my band Riff Raff, and Ted Nugent came to town. And Ted Nugent and my daughter were born on the same day, December 13th. And so he was always a big guitar hero of mine. And so when he was in town, the guy that used to, Calvin, who's a longtime friend of his, had a music store, and Ted came to the music store before the concert. Ted was playing with the Damn Yankees back in 1990, and Damn Yankees were in town. And so anyway, I got him to sign my guitar for me, got to jam with him a little bit at his music studio. And that's one of my prized possessions right there. I'm going to give that to my daughter one day, but not right now. But
yeah, that's cool.
Got that one. And then I bought this, 2 weeks before he died? No, something like that. I don't know. It's been a while. My Wolfgang. Love this guitar. This one right here has got one of the best necks I've ever played. It's a sweet one. Bought this one at Montalvo Music in Eureka, California, and walked in and said, I want that one. This guy's like, you want to plug it in? I'm like, well, if I got it, but I want that one.
Yeah. That's cool.
That is really beautiful. Thing on it. It's got a kill switch built in, and yeah, it's really a quality guitar for the money.
It's a Frankenstrat. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And I told him, I'm like, and it's got one of the best cases I've ever seen for a guitar, and so I told him, I'm like, so man, can you work with me on that price? He's like, yep, it's $8.99. I'm like, okay, well, would you at least throw in a case with it? And he's like, absolutely. And then I come to find out the case comes with it anyway. So
hey, you got a good deal on it.
Yeah,
best deal ever.
Got you, bro. Picks for you as well.
Here's some picks.
Love
it.
I do have to ask how the nickname NippleNeck came around.
Dude, everybody.
Because it's obviously a conversation piece, because obviously when Andy was like, oh yeah, he's gonna have his co-host on NippleNeck, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, it really isn't. When we started doing the radio thing, I said, man, we used to work together. So I was just sitting there with him, and I'm like, you know what, man, you're gonna need a DJ name. Like, I want to be the WofeMan, Gary Wolfe. That's easy enough. But we got to come up with something for you. And so we're sitting right off the bat. I go, NippleNeck. What? And I'm like, NippleNeck, dude. You've seen more nipples than any man on this earth. And he's like, But he didn't like it. He didn't like it. Everybody at work started calling him NippleNeck. Now everybody in town calls him NippleNeck.
It's like when you say it, now it's now it's just instant like super glue stick, and it's like you gotta get rid of it now. That's your name. Oh my god, that is crazy. I had to ask that and see how he got that nickname.
I know that's a great story.
Oh my god.
Yeah, exciting. Yeah. Yeah. And then I got him a shirt for Christmas that says "Free the Nipple." Dual-edged sword, man. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, he just got. Oh, hang on. NippleNeck.
It's gotta be a good icebreaker though.
Organized that he got lighters made for his radio show. Night Rider. Says NR on it, and then on the back it says Night Rider Radio.
That's cool.
Yeah. Nice. Overachieving bastard, I swear.
That's awesome.
Sometimes and catch it on everything.
Right. NippleNeck, have a lighter.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's cool. So guys, I got a jet. The boss is calling me saying that we were supposed to be at pizza like half an hour ago.
Oh yeah, I get it, man. I got a girl that just had carpal tunnel surgery yesterday, and she's in there talking about thirsty or something. I can't hear her.
I don't know what you said.
I'm probably gonna go check on her soon.
Yeah. Are you still alive?
Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
I've been thirsty for an hour.
She's like, I can't talk.
Man. Anytime you want me back on your show, all you gotta do is ask, brother. It's fun.
Right
Oh yeah, man.
Yep.
I'll definitely have to check out. I'll check out your guys' show.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Cool. I appreciate that, James. It's nice meeting you, bro. And keep on cooking.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
All right, guys.
Cool.
We'll see you later.
We'll see you all later. We'll see everybody else later. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next week with Ben Taft, and we will see you soon.
See you guys.